Is Thailand still worth visiting in 2025? This is my honest experience. Thailand is one of the most popular travel destinations in the world. And after spending time in Chiang Mai, Koh Samui, and Bangkok, I totally get why. But there were also some things that really shocked me. And trust me, it is very hard to shock a New Yorker. In this video, I'm breaking down my full experience, the best moments, the biggest surprises, and one thing that really turned me off about Thailand.
I'm a passport princess.
I called this chapter of my life the furthest I've ever been, because the day before our flight, we ran the BK Half Marathon. Those are actually our medals right over there. And that was the most I've ever pushed myself physically. Then we hopped on a 27-hour flight, and that was the furthest I've ever been physically. So it just felt like I was pushing the limits of my free will. And I learned that I will not be doing that again. In this one trip alone, we took 8 flights. 3 flights to go, 3 flights inside of Thailand, and 2 flights to come back. Being flued out took a whole new meaning. We went for 10 days and we got a lot done in those 10 days, but I definitely could have used more time because I feel like there was still more things to see. And I could have just used more time to relax, probably. In total, we spent $14.98 per person round trip, including all those 8 flights. It was 27 hours to get there and 21 hours to get back. I recommend taking rest time into consideration when you're deciding how many days you want to spend there. You might not want to jump right into exploring as soon as you land, and you might not want to go straight back to work when you come back. I started my trip in Chiang Mai, which is known as the cultural heart of Thailand. It's a city where golden temples are as common as 7-Elevens, and each one is more beautiful than the last. And monks glide around the streets like some sort of enlightened, cool influencers. The food, super cheap and super delicious. The vibe, laid back. And the tuk-tuks, don't get me started on the tuk-tuks. It's pretty much a mix between a roller coaster and a taxi, minus the seatbelts, and add a few near-death experiences. But sometimes we hopped on a tuk-tuk just for the thrill of it. They were very accessible, very affordable, and very fun. In fact, my boyfriend loved them so much that one of the times he paid the driver double the price that he gave us. I think he asked for 100 baht for a 10-minute ride, which converts to $2.50 USD. And we gave him 200 baht, which was $5, because we had such a good time. It's almost like, as an American, when the price is so right, it feels wrong. Like, why aren't you trying to scam me right now? Like, what's your angle? But especially since everything in Thailand was in the $1 to $10 range, we were feeling rich. I was in danger. We stayed at the Asa Hotel and paid $135 total for 4 nights, which means it was about $33 a night. Although there were a few restaurants and cafes and a 7-Eleven near the hotel, it was still a good 15-minute walk to the city center where it's more poppin'. I loved the hotel itself and how modern and calm it was, but I wish we were closer to the mix of it all, which I think is in the old town of Chiang Mai. One thing I also loved is the ritual of taking off your little chancletas before you walk into a temple. In a world where we carry so much baggage, physical, emotional, and the kind that rolls behind you in an airport, it was refreshing to leave something behind, even if just for a moment. And if you feel weird about taking your shoes off, I mean, don't bring anything expensive, but Thai people are super respectful. I don't think anybody would ever try to steal your stuff. And socks may be allowed if you feel like, you don't want to walk barefoot on a floor you don't know. But I will say all the temples seems very clean. I would see people cleaning them sometimes. There are monks that actually live like on site for most temples, and they're in charge of like getting certain chores done. Also, be mindful of temple dress code. They do not want to see your chi-chis or your cha-chas or your shoulders or your knees, and that goes for both genders. So be ready to be on your most demurity behavior when you're walking into a temple. No hats, no sunglasses, nothing. This was a challenge on some days because Thailand is so hot. I'm talking 100+ degrees, and imagínate, in those temples there's no AC. Like maybe they'll have a little fan, but you're practically in a sauna. I wish I was exaggerating. On the days that I knew we were visiting temples, I would carry around a light scarf or wear linen pants and flowy dresses. Another thing I loved was the mini temples located outside of every establishment. Thai people believe that spirits and ancestors inhabit the land and natural elements. These shrines are meant to provide a shelter for spirits, ensuring that they stay happy and don't cause harm to anyone on the property. By honoring spirits, they believe you can receive protection, prosperity, and good fortune. I think it shows that the Thai people have a really strong respect for their culture and ancestors, which as a visitor makes you want to uphold that respect as well. Like somebody granny might be watching, you better not be stealing silverware or cups from that restaurant. And that might be why overall Thailand felt really safe. They were so laid back as people. Like, you ever go somewhere and you know you stand out, like you know you look different than everybody there, and sometimes people stare at you and they make you feel awkward? Well, not in Thailand. They didn't give a hoot. I was so impressed by how unimpressed they were by us, but it didn't take away from their service or kindness. They're just a bunch of chill guys and girls and gays.
This is amazing. How does it feel to feed an elephant?
It feels freaky.
Look at that trunk.
You gotta eat your phone.
No way. No way, elephant.
Of course, I couldn't come to Thailand without visiting an elephant sanctuary. And let me tell you, seeing these gentle giants up close was a reminder that some things in this world are still pure. Like, they could easily trample all of us if they felt like it, but it's like they know their power and they still choose peace. It was beautiful. And no, I didn't ride an elephant. Are you crazy? I actually like animals. In case you didn't know, it's frowned upon and considered animal abuse to ride the elephants. Like, they don't want to carry your goofy big ass on their back. Have some respect. But instead, we got to hand feed them their favorite food, bathe them in the river, and play with their poop. Yes, you heard that right. We got to play with elephant poop. It's not what it sounds like. Their diet is 100% plant-based, vegan, organic, so their poop comes out as like pretty much pure fiber. It kind of has like a musky, earthy smell, but it smells nothing like how carnivore poop smells. So the fiber is extracted from their poop, it's processed, it's sanitized, it's boiled, and then it gets turned into paper. This is a win-win for conservation efforts. Elephants get to eat and poop all day, and it saves the forests. We love an environmental win. And I still have my elephant poop bookmark right here. Look, they let us decorate our own elephant poop bookmarks. You can see the name of the park. It's called Elephant Poo Poo Paper Park. Very creative. And it has no smell. By the way, Chiang Mai has the best souvenirs. Like, you know, I went to Bangkok and Koh Samui, but this was like $2. And my biggest regret was not getting more of them and more colors for all of my friends and family back home. Because I was like, oh, it's still early in the trip. I'm sure they're gonna be everywhere. They were not everywhere, they were not this cute, and they were not that cheap everywhere else I went. Look at this. I still wear it to this day. Good quality too. Like, look at this other one souvenir we got. We actually got a baby elephant and a mama elephant souvenir and tied a little bot to it. Look how beautiful that is. And we haggled, so we felt like really proud of ourselves. The same elephant poo-poo paper excursion also included a trip to climb the famous sticky waterfalls. There's some naturally occurring mineral that makes the rock on this waterfall super sticky, so you can't slip no matter how hard you try. It's so weird, but it makes it a super fun and refreshing activity for all ages. And of course, one of the best parts of Thailand was experiencing the food up close and personal. So we took a cooking class, which included a trip to their local market. They taught us how to pick out different ingredients. Then we went to their cooking school, where we were greeted with like a beautiful lotus flower pond and a tour of their fresh herb and vegetable garden. We got to learn which herbs give Thai food its special flavor, and we got to prepare our own 3-course meal. They give you a menu to choose what you want to cook. We chose like a soup in the beginning. We chose the cashew chicken and rice and their famous coconut rice dessert. They also showed us how to make traditional Thai iced tea. The most fascinating part of the cooking experience is we didn't use any salt or pepper to season our food, yet the flavors came out perfect. Next stop, Koh Samui. If heaven had an Airbnb, this would be it. The beaches were so stunning, I almost expected a mermaid to swim up and offer me a cocktail. The water was warm, the sand was soft, and for a moment I thought, maybe I could stay here forever. But then I remembered I have bills and a cat waiting for me back home. We stayed at the 4U resort for 5 nights and spent $214 total. So that was $42 a night for 5 nights. It's not bad. It was a small resort right on the beach. It had a pool, a cafe, and a bar. They had a typical American breakfast option. I went for the traditional Thai one morning just because I want to see like, what do they eat for breakfast? Apparently they eat like a little broth, so a little soup with vegetables and a little rice on the side, and then like I think they also gave me some fruits on the side too. I felt so healthy there. Also, maybe I'm biased, but I always feel like DR has some of the best beaches in the world, like in terms of water quality and like sand texture. I'm always trying to see if other beaches I go to can compare to DR beaches, and usually they can't. But girl, Koh Samui was up there. That beach was beautiful. And all along the coast of the beach, there's different restaurants and bars. And now this is where things get interesting. Weed was everywhere. Yeah, Mary Jane was everywhere. Like more accessible than sunscreen. And the Mary Jane like lounges and bars were some of the best spots to like kind of party at night. Like they were playing hip hop, R&B, they was playing Dembow. I heard Bad Bunny. I was like, what? Y'all know about that over here? On the beach, there was actually a weed beach lounge. Like I felt like I was Rihanna or something like that. I was like, ah. At night, we also checked out the Lamai night market that had a lot of street food and vendors, and we went in May of 2024, which apparently is their slow season, and it was kind of empty everywhere we went. Honestly, I'm not sure we were too far from the city center, but sometimes it seemed like we were the only people on the island. Well, us and the girls trying to offer my man a massage every 10 feet. Talking about sawadee-ka, sawadee-ka. Don't say sawadee-ka to my man. And then there was Bangkok, the city that never sleeps, mostly because the traffic won't let it. It's chaotic, exciting, and full of surprises. 1 minute you're eating the best street food of your life for $2, and the next you're being asked if you want to see a pussy ping pong show. I still don't know what that means, and I am scared to find out. We stayed at the Sensation Hotel residence, so it was like a little bit apartment style, but we were only there for 2 nights and we paid $89. Somehow we ended up at the Thai train station. Wish us luck. And it was super clean, modern, and very quiet. Why does it feel like everybody's doing the mute challenge every time I take the train outside of New York? Like, there's no showtime, there's nobody asking for a dollar, there's no exotic smells coming from the man in the corner. Like, sometimes I feel like I'm the loud one, you know? Like, I feel like I can't talk, I'm scared to talk, like I'll be the only one. It makes you realize how much we normalize insane behavior in public, like in New York or in the US in general. Welcome home, my love.
Hey, babe.
I'm filming. I never thought I would be one of those people that hangs out at 7-Eleven, and yet it seems like the right thing to do in Thailand. In the US, 7-Eleven is like the last resort. But in Thailand, it gave Target energy, like a mini mall where you can find cool new products, essentials, ATMs, different Thai food and drinks, and it's also a nice AC break from the outside. We even chilled outside at one of their little like tables and chairs one day and like made ourselves little cocktails and snacks. Bangkok is also home to some of the most famous and extravagant temples in Thailand. If you want to see like the giant Buddhas, this is the place to do it. We went to the largest temple in Bangkok, home of the giant sleeping Buddha, and I swear his pinky is like the size of my head, not even. It was huge, like it was so big, you couldn't even get a proper picture of the scale of it.
That's what she said.
The temple had a lot of different like grounds, and they even had a museum so you can learn more about the culture as you walk around. I felt beautiful and magical here. But then there was the part of Thailand that wasn't so charming. The part no one seems to talk about in their Thailand travel vlogs. The sheer amount of working ladies of the day and night was so in your face, so normalized that it stopped me in my tracks. And not just women, young girls and young boys too. Very young, like scary young. It broke my heart. And suddenly my love for this country came with a little asterisk. It was very hard to ignore all the older white men with very young looking girls and boys, and it's a sad reality in a lot of popular tourist destinations. Young people feel like they have no choice but to turn to this kind of work for survival, and I feel like it's a result of passport bro, passport unk culture normalizing these places for their personal perverted playgrounds. That kind of ruined the vibe for me because there was so much of it and I just didn't like seeing little kids in that position. And I grew up in Hunts Point, if you know, you know. So I've seen a hoe or two in my day. Like, I'm not mad at the oldest profession in the world. It was just kind of extreme to see the spectrum of like conservative Buddhist temple culture, and then you turn the corner and these girls are selling massages. Don't get me wrong, a lot of massage places in Thailand are legit and they're known for being experts in traditional massages. But some of them you can just tell. It was an aspect of the tourism culture I really did not like. So, final thoughts. Is Thailand worth it? When I look back and think about all the cool new experiences we had, I think absolutely. It is somewhere worth visiting and getting to know. The food, the beaches, the people, the culture, and the cost of everything was a dream. But like any dream, there were moments where reality came crashing in. If you're planning a trip, my advice is to do your research, travel with awareness, and maybe pack an extra deodorant because it gets hot, even at night. At the end of the day, travel is like dating. You fall in love, you get your heart broken, And sometimes you leave with more questions than answers, but isn't that why we do it in the first place? Until next time, Thailand, and until next time, my lovely viewers, and tell me, what is the wildest thing you've experienced while traveling? Don't forget to like, share, subscribe.
Toodles. I'm a passport princess.
I feel like this is called extra barbecue,
They're lacking.
but the barbecue chips in America be way more barbecuey. Arguably too barbecuey, so I actually kind of appreciate this.
I can appreciate it.
But I know what you mean. It's missing a little sauce.
I like the crunch though.
It's missing a little. Now we're gonna try the cow soy chicken, which is interesting. This is like the most popular dish in Thailand, and we actually had this earlier today. We had cow soy, and we were like not that impressed. No tea, no shade. Maybe we just didn't have the best kind yet. Le faltó sazón.
That low-key tastes like it.
It tastes like what we ate.
Yeah.
It's trippy.
I don't
Which
beat-
one you like better, the barbecue or the...
I like them both, to be honest. But it don't beat like a regular like purple bag of Doritos. Like the sweet spicy chili Doritos. It don't beat it. I know it's probably less chemicals and shit, but
What about those weak ass?
Watch these be the best ones. I got seaweed chips because I like seaweed chips. So when in Rome, right? Okay, you wanna try one with me? They're not terrible. They're different. The seaweed chips in America, they like melt in your mouth. These are more like, they have a little bit more thickness to them. More substance. They have more substance to them. Like, they don't just melt like a piece of paper. Or something.
It tastes like the bottom of the ocean though.
It's giving seafood. I really like, and Aries are my favorite. I also got a kombucha because they don't sell alcohol past 12 a.m., which I hate that for us. It tastes nothing like American kombucha. It tastes like a peach tea.
Wow, nothing at all.
Yeah, like no bubbles or anything. That's our review for now. Thank you for coming to our channel.